Okay, let's do it. Okay, today we are serving up some intermediate realness. So, I'm gonna turn on this fan. Hopefully it's not too loud, but it'll give us a little airflow. Okay, so, intermediate. A couple weeks ago, we did all of beginner. Today we're gonna try to get through all of intermediate.
Okay.
Bianca is a certified intermediate, not only practitioner, but also instructor, which is very exciting.
Thanks.
Yay!
I think that's the first time someone said that out loud.
Yes, you are! So this is exciting. So Bianca does all of the intermediate work. She'll perform it beautifully, I'm sure, but so will all of you at home. You're gonna give it a try. You're gonna promise me that you're gonna try it. And you're going to stop if anything is too much, and you're going to stop if something feels painful. You can work through anything that feels like, oh my gosh, this feels like work, but if it becomes pain, I want you to stop, lower your head carefully, take a breath, breathe, rock your hips side to side, rock your neck side to side, and then when you're ready, come back in and join us again. Don't push yourself, but do challenge yourself. That's what I will give to you today. All right, let's get started. Lay flat on your back. Good. And let's just do, we've done a lot in all of our classes of our rib cage breathing. So let's just get connected to your rib cage breathing. And then once we get there, we'll kind of just move quickly through our warm-ups. So take a couple breaths here. Inhale. Let's literally just do 3 breaths connecting to those deep abdominal layers. So that feeling of inhaling and expanding the belly, and then exhaling and zipping up a zipper from the pubic bone all the way to the sternum right below the brow line. And exhale. That's your third. Now leave everything zipped up like you went to dinner and you had to come back to the after the restroom. You put on your jeans and they were way too tight because you ate pasta. And then stay there, start breathing into the rib cage on your back. So feel your back open and expand into the mat. And then exhale, keep the abdominals corseted. 2 more like that. I want you to constantly have this feeling of a little magnet in between the ribs. And it's not pulling down, but just gently melting together a little bit more. Good, 1 more. Good. Now you're gonna add your pelvic tilt with that. So you inhale, you're in neutral. Exhale, come into your pelvic tilt, squash your blueberry. Inhale, come to neutral pelvis. A little bit of space behind your low back. Exhale, squash your blueberry. 1 more time just like that. Inhale, come to neutral. Exhale and squash, and then inhale, come right back to neutral, but keep everything the same. Float your arms up to the ceiling. We have 3 rib cage breath here. Inhale, your arms go back, your ribs stay shut. Exhale, press air forward to come forward. 2 more. Inhale, and exhale, add some resistance. 1 more time, inhale, float the arms back. Exhale, press the arms forward. Bring the arms right down by the sides for your 100 position. But first, let's do a little bit marching. 1 leg comes up to tabletop, the other leg comes up to tabletop. Zip the legs together, and then float 1 leg down to the mat and lift it right back up and switch. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift and switch. Inhale down, exhale up. And down and up. We're doing 3 of each, so 1 more time on each side, and again down and up. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. We're gonna set right up for our 100 here. Now that we've started the body moving, we're gonna get the body warm and toasty. Now, stay in this position. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Look at your belly button. Use that rectus abdominal engagement, the middle of the body, to curl up from. Send the legs to a high 45. Send the arms long by your hips. Start to pump your arms up and down for your 100. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going just like that for 8 more breaths. Exhale, 7. Good, Bianca. And exhale. Nice. Imagine flattening the abdominals out every time you exhale. That's it. And keep challenging yourself. Can I curl up deeper? Can I work this curl even more? Keep going. You have 4 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. I was just making sure that the Zoom was recording. Inhale and exhale. 2 more breaths. You're almost there. This is creating heat in the body. We're getting warm. This is our full body warm up. Exhale. Stop pumping, bend your knees, lower your head, neck, and shoulders. Take a breath. You've survived the 100. Lower your feet down onto the mat. Send your legs long. We set up for our roll-ups. Arms straight up to the ceiling. Zip your legs together. Flex your heels a lot. And then on your way up, I want you to engage the back of those legs. So press the back of the legs down, tuck your chin into your chest, and peel off the mat. Roll up forward. And hold here. And feel that stretch like we do in spine stretch forward usually. So you're gonna feel your arms and the tip of your head reaching towards the wall in front of you. And then roll back down slowly, as slow as you can go. That's it, with control. 2 more, roll back up. When they're really nice and lovely and perfect and wonderful and you're using a lot of control, we don't have to do a lot. Roll back down. That's why I love Pilates. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Control, control, control. And then inhale here, curl on up. Reach over those toes. Hold here. Feel the space between your vertebrae here. I want you to breathe in. Good adjustment with your shoulders, Bianca. She really just let those shoulders slide down her back. I like that a lot. And feel the breath come in between the vertebra behind you, like they're stretching and they're creating space in between them from your tip of your head to the bottom of your tailbone. And then roll down 1/4 of the way and hold for 3 and 2 and 1. Now go down to halfway, get the low waistband of your pants on the mat and hold for 3 and 2 and 1, and then control yourself all the way down, slowly, slowly, slowly. Beautiful with those legs. I love it. Nice. Bring your arms down by your side. Hug your right knee into your chest. And you can bring your hand onto the back of the thigh here. Make sure both hips are anchored in the mat. So just give your hips a little wiggle. And I want you to think about those 2 sockets in the back of your hips and try to get both of those flat on the mat there. And then send your right leg up to the ceiling. Keep holding onto that leg and just get a little stretch here. And then bend the knee and then straighten the leg up. Send the heel up first. So instead of pointing your toe, let's do it with a flexed foot. Yeah, so we get a little into the back of the leg. I know, I can barely do it. Yeah, 2 more, bend. And straighten, just a nice stretch. 1 more time, bend, send the heel up to the ceiling. Now point your toe, bring the arms by the sides. And we're gonna do 3 circles in one direction with our head down. So start your single leg circle across your body, down and around, and up for 3. And watch that rock in your hip. Up for 2, across, down, around, and up for 1. Now stop, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, reach your arms into your 100 position. 3 in the same direction, curled up. Across the body, down, around, and up. Across the body, down, around, and up. 1 more, inhale, across, down, around, and up. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders, bend your knee in. Take a little side to side stretch, roll, whatever feels good. And then we'll do the other direction. So we were just doing across the body, half circle, straight up. We're gonna go straight down, across the body to lift. We'll do 3 in that direction with our head down, 3 with our head curled up, same thing. Arms long by your sides on the mat, and then start your straight down, across, and up. Really think about bringing that inside of that thigh across the body as far as you can without moving the hip. And then curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, look at your belly button, arms hover, and you do 3 with your head up, 2. Beautiful, 1. Bend your knee, lower your head, take a breath. Good. Send your right leg long. Bend the left knee into the chest. Hands come behind the thigh. And we're just going to start with that stretch. So straightening and bending the leg and bringing attention to the backs of the hips the same way we did on the other side. Your hip points are flat in the mat. But right above your hip points, there's a little bit of space for that blueberry. So we still have our neutral pelvis. I just want the hip points to not be unevenly weighted. Good, and then leave your leg there. Turn the leg out, arms by your side. We have 3 across your body first. Exhale to zip straight back up. 2 across the body and up. 1 across the body and up. Stop, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. We have 3 in this direction. 3, aha, that's beautiful. 2, nice, Bianca. She's really propelling that leg from her abs. It looks great. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders. Take a rest. Rock the hips side to side. That was amazing. So if you could, I could see it from here, I don't know if you could. Bianca's really using that exhale to propel her leg up. It's very intentional. She's lifting it with the belly and choosing a spot to put it. That's pretty close to her face because she's nice and flexible. Let's go again. Arms long by your sides. On the mat, we start 3, straight down, hug across and lift. 2, straight down, hug across and lift. 1, hug across and lift, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, and we go again, down, across, and up for 3. Use that breath, inhale, exhale. 1 more, inhale, exhale, bend your knee, lower your head, rock your hip side to side. Take a breath. That's our single leg circle. let's get into our rolling like a ball. Let's go through a teaser. It's early in class for a teaser, but it's a great transition. Bend your knees into your chest. Send your legs to a high 45 and send your arms straight up to the ceiling. And then you're gonna curl up all the way to sit right behind your sits bones and hold. 3 and 2. When you come out of it, you're gonna seesaw forward, put your feet flat on the mat. Scoot your butt forward to the front edge, close to your heels. Wrap your arms around your legs, all 10 fingers facing each other on the front of the shins. Round your spine out into a nice big ball shape. And then you're gonna make sure you're tucking your pelvis so that you're sitting right behind the sits bones and float your heels up off the ground. We're gonna do 5 rolling like a ball. As you inhale, tuck your pelvis back to rock to the tips of the shoulder blades. Exhale, come back up. Hover for a moment at the top, but you're still tucking. Inhale, rock back, roll to the tips of the shoulder blades. Exhale, come back up, levitate. 3 more, inhale back. Exhale, tuck on the way up. That's the challenging part. Tuck to go down. Tuck and use your abs to come up. 1 more time. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, roll all the way up and hold here and see how hollow you can make your ball. And hold for 3. Keep breathing, keep pulling the belly button to the spine. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Lower your feet down. Scoot your butt back. Zip your legs together, flex your heels, arms right out in front of you. We have a slow roll down transition, just taking your time to roll down with control. Tuck your chin, tuck your pelvis, and melt your spine onto the mat. Bone by bone, beautiful V. That's it. Scoot forward a little bit if you've come off your mat. It's okay, it happens. Hug your knees into your chest and we go right into our ab series. Look how far we've come, you guys. It's amazing. Are you keeping up? I hope you are. If not, you just keep working. You go back to beginner. That's the best part about our archives. Go back to beginner, you keep working on it. Next week we'll probably revisit beginner stuff again too. Like, it doesn't matter. You're going to try. You do what you can. We keep progressing. Before you know it, I promise you, you'll be doing this and you'll be like, what? I couldn't do that 4 weeks ago. Okay? Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. And then today, arms are gonna be long by your sides for this one, hovering like your 100 position, your single leg stretch. One leg goes long, and then you switch, and you switch. So you don't have your arms helping you. While you're doing this, and you're only gonna do 6 more reps on each side B, and then you're gonna come out of it while I talk. I want you to think about what's called your Pilates box. Shoulder to shoulder, hips to hips. Your knees do not go outside of your Pilates box, so they are going narrow in and hugging each other even. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders down and hold. 1 more point on that. When we're here without our hands helping us, arms are here. You're also still actively using the belly to pull the knee closer to your face or your chest. So just because you don't have that extra stretch doesn't mean you're not stretching. It's called single leg stretch for a reason. Let's go into our double leg stretch. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Send your legs to a high 45, send your arms high behind your ears, and then hug your knees in, circle your arms around, and squeeze. Inhale, lengthen everything away from each other. Exhale, scoop everything in. 4 more, lengthen and hug, scoop. 3, inhale, exhale, pull the knees in. 2 more, inhale. And exhale, final one. Keep that head, neck, and shoulders still at home. And then lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. So a lot of times, we start to get into that movement and we go back and our head goes back and we come in and our head comes forward. And we're moving like this. I don't want any movement in the head, neck, and shoulders. They stay stationary. Arms and legs move. Most of the time in Pilates, one thing is moving and everything else is staying still. So that's the idea. Here in this case, I guess there's 2 things moving, your hands and your legs, but the core is staying totally still. Good. Let's get ready for our scissors. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Send both legs up to the ceiling. Bring both hands behind the thigh on one leg or the calf or the ankle, whatever you're able to reach. Give yourself a nice stretch. Pull that leg towards your face twice, and then switch sides. Pull, switch. Pull, switch. Pull, switch. Don't forget your midline on this one. Really squeeze those inner thighs together as they brush past each other. It's an extra added zhuzh in the middle. That's it. 2 and 2. Final 1 and 1. Bend both knees in. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Rock your hips side to side. Good. Bring your hands behind your low back if you have any low back issues, or bring your hands one on top of the other behind your head. Those are your 2 options. Either way, you curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Unless you have neck issues, then you keep your head, neck, and shoulders down. Send both legs straight up to the ceiling. Pilates stance your feet, heels together, toes slightly apart. Lower your legs halfway down quickly. Lift them up slowly. 2 more times down fast. Yes, up slow. 1 more time, tempo. And lift. Now we reverse, go down slowly. We just have 3. Use your abs to lift on 1. Slowly, the belly pulls up. 1 more time, slowly down, quickly up. Bend your knees, lower your head. Rock your hips side to side. That's our ab series. Woo! Ab series! And it's Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. That means tomorrow's Friday. Who else is excited? Woo! I'm pumped. I only had a 2-day work week, so can't complain.
I was like, no, you don't. You work all the time, but you meant
No, I was away this week. Okay, let's get moving on. Okay, let's come up into a teaser. Hug your knees into your chest. I know.
Are you gonna let me skip crisscross?
Oh, crisscross. See, this is why you teach certified Pilates instructors. They catch your mistakes. Crisscross.
I'm not complaining, but
crisscross is one of my favorites. Hug your knees into the chest. We have to work on some of that rotation. Thank you for the reminder. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Send one leg long and twist your torso so your armpit comes to the opposite knee. And switch. And switch. And switch. And switch. Now switch and hold. And switch and hold. And switch and give me 2 pulses. Pulse, pulse, and switch 2 pulses. Pulse, pulse, switch 2 pulses. Switch 2 pulses. 1 more time. You got it, girl. Switch 2 pulse, pulse. And switch pulse, pulse. Come back to the center. Lower everything down. Breathe. Now we have our teaser transition to come up into spine stretch forward. Hug your knees into your chest. Send your legs out to I-45. Arms go straight up to the ceiling and roll up to your teaser. Hold for 3, hold for 2. We're gonna seesaw forward again on 1. Good. Scoot your butt back so your legs are long and fully on the mat. And then open your legs to the width of the mat and flex your feet a lot. Arms long in front of you. My favorite image here is that tabletop. So you're pressing down on an imaginary tabletop. Your arms are super engaged. And then you're gonna think about it being a candy cane. Think about growing your spine up the imaginary wall behind you and then peeling your head, neck, and shoulders only off the wall to reach forward. Use your abdominals to roll back up. Shoulders stay down your back. And we do that again. Engage the arms, lift the spine, reach forward, up and over. Keep pulling that belly back. Pull the belly back more to rebuild the spine up. Good. Press the arms down. This is the last one. Reach up and over. And breathe. And then rebuild the spine up bone by bone. I think sometimes we think sometimes spine stretch forward is like a throwaway exercise, but there's so much happening. I think it's one of the most challenging exercises if we execute it correctly. The other thing I want to mention there is I always say I like, one of my instructors told me, like, necessity, right? So we do something in the body so much so that something else must happen. And to me in that exercise, there's a lot of things, but one of the things is I'm reaching forward here and I'm pulling my abdominals back so much that when I go further, it's the only choice I have to rebuild my spine, right? So that's how much abdominal action is happening. Good. Now we have our open leg rocker. So bring both legs up to tabletop for me. And bring your hands behind your thighs. And tuck your pelvis so you're sitting right behind your sit bones. Now, part of this exercise is open leg. We're gonna start here today. It's similar to our rolling like a ball, but your legs are open. They stay a little wider or right about the outside of the hips. So not inner hip, that's a little too close. Outer hip distance apart. Now you're gonna roll back to the tips of your shoulder blades without changing the lower part of your body and rock back up and hover right behind the sits bones. Beautiful. 2 more just like that. Inhale, round back. When you come up, you can get a little straight back to balance, but make sure your pelvis is tucking so you're not perched. Good. And then if it's available to you, you send your legs straight and you reach towards your ankles and you do the same movement here. Tuck and round and roll back to the tips of the shoulder blades. Use your belly to come back up and hold, straighten the spine. Just 2 more if you got it. Round and roll back to the tips of the shoulder blades. Press into your shins or calves to come up. 1 more time. Round back, shoulder blades, press into those calves. Lift. Zip your legs together. Bend your knees, float your legs down to the mat. Good. And then lie down flat. Just get there comfortably. That was enough. Arms long by your sides. We have our corkscrew here. We'll start with our tick-tock. We'll move into corkscrew. Hug your knees into your chest. So for our corkscrew, arms stay glued to the mat 100% of the time. Your hips, this is an exception to a lot of our exercises. Your hips may move a little bit. We watch that rock in most of our exercises. This time we're gonna let it go a little bit. But your rib cage, this point, never peels off. So that's how you determine your range of motion. How far can I move my legs without lifting my ribs? Play with that a little bit as we do some tick-tock. Arms long by your side. Send your legs straight up to the ceiling, heels together, toes apart. And then you're gonna bring both legs together to the right side as far as you can go without lifting your rib cage. You're pressing down into that mat a lot. Bring the legs back to center and bring them over to the left. And you're going back and forth. This is our tick-tock, just like Bianca's doing here. It's beautiful. Use your arms, your palms, your wrists, your forearms, your elbows, your triceps, your shoulders. Good. And then we go for our full corkscrew. You go right, down and around in front of you, to the left all the way back to center. Left, down and around in front of you, right all the way to center. 2 more times. Inhale, down and around, exhale to lift. Inhale, down and around the other way, exhale to lift. 1 more time, inhale, down and around to the right, exhale. Final one, inhale, down and around to the left, exhale. Bend your knees in, take a breath. Very good. That looks great. You all look amazing at home too. I know it. I love a little corkscrew.
I do too.
It's so hard, but it's so fun.
It feels good on the low back.
Yeah, it's like a little massage, right? Love it. Okay, now we come back up for our saw, which is a good old fave, right? Just rock up to sit. Put your hands behind your thighs and rock up to a seated position, and then scoot your butt back so your legs are long and they're open to the width of the mat. So similar to our spine stretch forward. Arms start right in front of your shoulders, and then they open just slightly. They're still in your periphery, but they're open a bit. Twist your torso all the way to the right. Keep your left hip back. Dive your left hand forward. Saw off your right pinky toe with your pinky finger. Flip your back palm up to the ceiling. Gaze at it. Come all the way back up to sit. You're still twisted. Beautiful, Bianca. Twist to the other side. Dive forward. Saw off your pinky toe with your pinky finger. Flip that back palm. Gaze at it. Lift up in your twist and then come back to center. And we speed it up. Inhale to twist and dive. Exhale to lift. Inhale to twist and dive. Exhale to lift. Inhale, twist and dive. Exhale, lift. Inhale, twist and dive. Exhale, lift. 1 more time each way. Inhale, twist and dive. Exhale, lift. Last one, twist and dive. Exhale, lift. Come back to center. Lower your arms. Take a breath. Zip your legs together. Arms go long in front of you and we roll down to the mat. Bone by bone. So good. At this point in class, just watch your head, there you go. At this point in class, your roll down probably feels super warm, which is great, right? Started at the beginning of class being like, oh, okay, we're moving. But now we're like, our spine should be a little loosey-goosey, it should feel good. Flip on over to your stomach and set up for swan. Let's set up for swan today, hands right underneath the shoulders. Forehead flat on the mat, legs behind you, relax, glutes relax. If it helps for you to internally rotate your toes towards each other, go ahead and do that. And we're just gonna go right into our swan with our hands floating off the mat today. So float your hands up about 2 inches. That should cause your shoulders to go down your back, like plugging in beside your spine, and then lift your head, neck, and shoulders up as high as you can with your eyes still on the mat, so your neck stays in line with your spine, and then lower all the way down. Keep those hands up. And then lift back up. Think about lifting with the back side of the body. I like to imagine there's a sheet of muscles on my back that lifts me up and then lowers me down. Good. Bianca's gonna keep going for 3 more. You're also at home going, but your abdominals are lifting up into your spine so much that if there was a fire on the floor right underneath your belly button, you'd be pulling your belly button off of it so you don't get burned. Good. And then, was that it? Or you have one more? One more. Good. And then lower all the way down. Nice. Prop yourself up on your forearms for me. And then you're gonna break your knuckles, wrists, and bring your knuckles together like you're wearing rings and they're touching. Press down into the mat to lift your chest up. Let's do a little neck roll here. So zip your legs together behind you and bring your neck your chin all the way over your right or left shoulder. I don't care which side you start on. And this is not a throwaway exercise. I want you to look at your toes if you can, so you get a stretch in the side of your neck. Then you tuck your chin to your chest, roll all the way to the other side, look behind the shoulder on the other side, try to reach the toes with the eyes, and then come back to center with the gaze. And then go left. You reach the neck, tuck and roll, reach to the other side, head back to center. Reach the neck, tuck and roll, reach to the other side, head back to center. One more time because it feels so good in each direction. Keep pressing down into those arms, Bianca, to lift the chest. There, yes. One more time to the other direction. Beautiful. Bring the gaze back to center, leave the gaze center. The abdominals are still engaged, so still lifting up off the mat. Knees are zipped together, and you're gonna kick one heel to your butt twice. Kick, kick, and switch. Kick, kick, and switch. Keep going. I want you to think about engaging your hamstrings to kick, kick. So this muscle right on the back of the thigh is what's pulling that heel to the butt. And then watch that rock in your body. Try to keep your belly in and your arms down so much that you don't rock back and forth very much. Good. One more on each side. Last one. Lower both feet down. And then lower your head down to the mat on your right cheek. We're gonna set up for our double leg kick. You're gonna come onto one cheek. Bring both hands behind the low back. And then slide the hands up as high as you can go. And just relax your elbows by your side. You're gonna feel a stretch in your shoulders, or you should. And then zip your legs behind you. So this is a combination of kicking and swanning. We're gonna go back and forth between a kick and a swan. So keep your knees glued together. You have a $100 bill in between your knees, don't lose it. Kick your butt with both heels 3 times. Kick, kick, kick. Bring your feet down, lift your chest up, extend your arms over your butt like Bianca is. Switch sides, bring your hands back up the back, and you kick, kick, kick. Feet down, chest up, arms long, switch sides, come down, and kick, kick, kick. Feet down, arms long, chest up, switch sides, and kick, kick, kick. Feet down, chest up, arms long, switch sides, and hold. That was great. Very nice. And then take your hands, we have to do a little swimming, but I think you have to kind of move a little bit, Bianca. Yeah, that's it. So scoop back. I want her to have space in front of her for her arms. Guys, it's New York living. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm gonna come on an angle.
Okay, do a little angle. There you go. Great. So I want you to have enough space in front of you for your arms to go long and your legs to go long behind you. Pull your belly button in first. So feel that fire's coming at your belly, so you want to lift it up and off. Good. And then lift your arms up and your feet up and your head up. And start to flutter your arms and feet for 10, 9, 8. Good. Keep going. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Lower everything down gently. Take a breath. Okay, we're gonna do that again. Bianca looked amazing. You might have felt great at home. We're gonna try it again though, one more time. My cue for this is you can swim as fast as you want, as long as your torso is not moving and shaking and bobbling and moving. And we didn't have a lot of that here. Maybe you didn't have a lot of that at home, but just let's do one more set and you're gonna really think about that. So the abdominals are keeping the body still while the arms and the legs move as fast as they can without moving. That's how you determine your speed. Arms, legs, and head lift up and you swim for 10, 9, beautiful, 8, 7, keep breathing. I know it's hard in this position. 4, 3, 2, 1, lower everything down, sit back into a child's pose and breathe. I find it to be kind of challenging sometimes to stay in that position. I get a lot of pressure right here on my sternum. So I have to really engage those abs and think about lifting from the back body so I'm not crunching so that I can breathe. Does anyone else feel the same way? Yeah.
Yeah, it's very like delicate.
Yeah, it
Over
can
here.
be. It can be. This is, I mean, look, these have our vital organs, right? So that's why we're building up this nice strong sheet of muscles to cover it, keep it in.
Keep it safe.
Yeah, that's what the core is for. Okay, great. Let's move on. Turn on over to sit on your butt and then lay down, just carefully. No fancy transition here today. All right, we go for our neck pull here. We've done neck pull before. It's one of our more challenging exercises, but I find it so satisfying when I do it. And if you're feeling like neck pull's not happening for you today, just go to your regular roll up, which we did at the beginning of class. We'll get to neck pull eventually if we're not there yet, but you can roll up for the next 3 minutes while we do this exercise and it will be good for you. If you're gonna do neck pull with us, great. Separate your feet so they're inner hip distance apart and flex your heels a lot, hands behind the head. Now the goal in this exercise, they say, is to keep your elbows wide the whole time. However, if keeping your elbows wide is not allowing you to come up and we get a little bit of a pull in, that's okay, just as wide as possible. Good. Tuck your chin into your chest, roll on up, trying to keep those elbows wide. It's so hard. Yeah, dive forward, your forehead heads towards your knees, and then you're gonna bring your elbows in. I like this moment to feel a stretch on the back of my neck forward. And then we go for our necessity. So use your abdominals to lift, stop at the top, and physically get a little bit of traction from your hands on your neck to lift the spine up taller, and then tuck your pelvis and roll down bone by bone. You can tuck. Yeah, we'll do that one last. Good, and breathe. And then we roll back up. Press your heels into the mat to help you on the way up. Forehead to knees, elbows hug, stretch. Lift your spine up, build it from the abs, stretch at the top, neck pull up, and then roll down, tuck and roll. Take your time, take your time. I love it when your heels drag on the mat. That means you're engaging the backs of the legs. Good. One more just like that. Press your heels down, curl up. Try to keep those elbows wide, but hey, we're doing the best we can. Forehead to knees, elbows in, stretch, rebuild the spine, lift, neck pull, tuck, and roll down, bone by bone. That's it. And then we have one more, and we'll add our hinge back on the next one. So one more added element here. Tuck and roll up. Dive forward, forehead to knees, elbows in. I can't say forehead to knees today for some reason. Rebuild your spine up, sit tall, tall, tall. Lift the neck out of the spine. And then hinge back with a straight back as far as you can go. When you can't go anymore, you start to feel that shake in the abs, tuck, and control the rest of the way down. That's your neck pull. I love neck pull. Good, we have jackknife. Arms long by your sides. On this exercise, jackknife. Again, something you're just going to give a try. If you're not getting there today, you may go back to your roll up or do like a half roll down, which I'll just demonstrate. If you feel like you're like, I just did a bunch of roll ups, Jenny, we can do this little half roll down where you crawl down the legs, find your nice deep scoop, hold for a couple counts, crawl back up, keep scooping all the way. And you can keep doing that instead of this if you feel like you're not getting the stick. But if you've ever taken yoga and you know what a plow position is, you can also come into plow and carefully roll back down. I could be okay with that too. You might want to turn. Why don't you turn with your head that way? Yeah, just because your feet are going to go into the couch.
Okay.
You want some space, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, go on at least like a little diagonal here.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So, the pro tip for jackknife is you're using the back of your body a lot. Again, just like we were talking about in corkscrew, where your arms are working, so the same thing in jackknife. Let's just go into our plow first. Arms long by your sides, pressing your arms into the mat. Your palms, your wrists, your forearms, your elbows, your shoulders. Bend your knees into your chest, and then send them to a high diagonal 45. Use a little bit of momentum here to get your legs up over your head into your yoga plow position. That's fine, good. We have an assist. Now, just in this position, roll down very carefully. You're like, that's harder than a jackknife. There, just take your time rolling down with control, control, control. Beautiful. Bend your knees into your chest. That's part one of our jackknife, I would say. Now we're gonna add on. If that was good for you, stay there. We'll get to jackknife later. Otherwise, let's keep going. Send your legs to a high 45. Use a little bit of momentum. Come into that plow position. Now, pressing your arms into the mat. I want you to bring your legs up so that your toes go towards the ceiling. Try to get them over your eyeballs. One day, eventually, we're going to go into this plumb line jackknife position. This is your jackknife. Now, as your toes are reaching up to the ceiling, imagine I'm here holding a string from your toes. Start to melt your spine down to the mat. Toes are going up, up, up from the abs as you roll down, down, down with control. When your butt touches, bend your knees. Beautiful. Take a breath, do whatever you need to do. Everyone at home, take a breath, whatever you need to do. Rock those hips, rock those knees. Make sure you have enough space. And then we're gonna do 2 more jackknives. Arms long by your side so that you can mentally prepare. Send your legs to a high 45. Use a little bit of momentum, get the legs over the head. Reach the toes up over the eyeballs. Try to come into your high, long, straight jackknife. Good. Keep reaching your toes up to the ceiling as you roll the spine down away from the toes with control. That's so good, Bianca. She's really using her abs so much for that control, I know. And then bend your knees into your chest. That's beautiful. Take a breath. Relax. Rock your hips side to side. This is the thing. If it's easy, it's probably not Pilates. If you are not feeling like this is hard work, let's have a private session because it's really challenging. Although too at home, you might be going like, this is impossible. And that's fine too, you'll get there. You'll get there, you'll get there, you'll get there. But it's challenging. Arms on by your sides. Knees into the chest. Send the legs to a high 45. Swing the legs up over your head, come into your plow. Lift your toes up to the ceiling, come into your jackknife. Bianca, get your wrists down. Good. And then roll the spine down. I know it's so hard, our wrists want to pop up, but it really is helpful for our wrists to stay down, for alignment and for so many other things when your butt touches. Bend your knees. Bend your knees into your chest, grab onto your knees and rock your hips side to side. Give yourself a little love there. Okay, we just did all of this upside down flexion, this inverted flexion. Let's do some extensions and work on the back of our body with some bridging. So if you want to move your mat, you can. That's actually a really great angle for jackknife. Perfect. Maybe scoot it back just a teeny bit more. There we go. And then you're gonna lay down flat on your back. Lying down flat, knees bent into the chest, feet flat on the mat, arms long by your sides. Good. And your heels are close to your butt because we're gonna go up into a shoulder bridge, but your feet are flat, but they're as close as they can be. And then you're gonna press your arms down, press your feet up, peel your hips up to the ceiling, bone by bone. And then just melt the spine down, bone by bone. 2 more times just like that, then we add on tuck to peel up. Melt the rib cage together to roll down. Good. Keep your knees aiming up to the ceiling. So try to resist any going out or tucking in and roll back down. Now we add on, tuck your pelvis, lift your hips up to the ceiling. You're on your shoulders in your shoulder bridge. Bend your right knee into your chest. Send the right leg straight up to the ceiling with a pointed toe. Flex your heel, lower it halfway down, knee to knee, point and kick for 5. Flex lower, point, kick for 4. Flex lower, point, kick for 3. Flex lower, point, kick for 2. That's it. One more time, point, kick. Bend the knee, place the foot down. We go right on to the other side. Left knee in, straight leg up, flex lower for 5. Point, kick, flex lower 4. Point, kick, flex lower 3, and up. Flex lower 2, and up. Final one, down and up. Bend the knee, place the foot flat on the mat, lift those hips higher, and then start to melt the rib cage down to the mat, bone by bone. Rock the knees, side to side like windshield wipers. Good. I'm gonna say we don't have time for sidekick series.
I was gonna say, I don't think we do.
Oh wow.
Sidekick series is like an hour and a half.
I know, sidekick series feels so long. All right, well we're gonna move past sidekick series today. We'll come back to it next week, I promise. Let's move right on into our ending.
Sure.
Great. Guys, it's the end. We have a couple more exercises, but we're pretty close to the end. Okay, we've done a lot of teasers. Let's do one solid teaser 2. Actually, I lied. Let's do one solid teaser 1 and one solid teaser 2, and then we'll move on from our teasers. But let's start with teaser 1 for everybody at home so that way they know what they can do the second time as well. Teaser 1, knees bend into the chest. We've done this a couple times in class already. Arms straight up to the ceiling. Legs go to a high 45. Tuck your chin to your chest, roll up to your teaser, and hold. Try to get your chest nice and tall and proud. A little more tall and proud than my picture at Disney World. It was like day 6. I was really exhausted. Reach for those toes. Keep lengthening the feet out away from the hips. Melt your spine down. Try not to move your legs. You go bone by bone. When your shoulders touch, your head touch, you bend your knees. Take a breath. Good, that's our teaser 1. You may continue to do teaser 1 one more time, or we may do teaser 2, which it means you will lay down flat on the mat. Legs go long. Arms start straight up to the ceiling still, but legs are long. Legs are zipped together. And we're gonna lift the legs and the upper body in one piece to come up into your high V teaser. So inhale, on your exhale, legs come up, spine peels up. You reach for those toes and you're hovering behind your sits bones. Keep the pecs nice and wide in the front, plugging the shoulders down the back, beautiful. Keep the shoulders away from the ears at home. Keep lengthening the toes out of the hips. 3 and 2. Melt everything away together at the same time. Try to get your shoulders and your heels to touch the ground together. Beautiful. And then rest. Bend your knees into your chest. Hug your knees a little bit with a rock side to side. Teaser. Now we go into can-can, which I love, but it's so challenging. Place your hands behind your thighs. Rock up to sit. It has a fun name because it has a fun move. Now, for can-can, huh?
Should I face front?
Yeah, face front for can-can. Yeah. Bianca's gonna face front so you can see the front angle. However, what I'm gonna say is the proper way, ooh, that's not my face. The proper way to do this, is with your hands behind you. It should be the hands with the fingers facing out, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, fingers facing out. She's a Pilates instructor. And then your fingertips are just kind of have a light grip on the ground. I find when I do that I always want to bend my elbows because I don't quite have, I don't know, it's like I don't know.
Is it because of your hip flexors?
Yeah, my hip flexors. My hip flexors don't quite have enough, like,
range of motion.
Yeah, range of motion to stay there. So a modification is to bring your forearms on the floor behind you. Bianca, go ahead and do that. So your forearms are behind you, all the way on the ground, and you're kind of lounging back. Or you have this full upright seated position. But let's all start here today, and maybe one day we'll graduate to that full upright seated position because it's a lot on the hip flexors. And then bring your feet up to the balls of your toes, kind of like you're like a little ballerina. Good. Okay. Now we're going back to the idea of corkscrew. So it's cool to see how all the exercises work together. And in corkscrew, when we were doing it today, we're talking about how your hips can move, but your rib cage cannot. It's the same principle here. In fact, you want a little bit of movement in those hips, but the rib cage stays totally still by using the belly pulling in and by pressing the arms down behind you just a little bit. Now you're gonna take your knees to the right together, take your knees to the left together, bring your knees back to the right together, and then lift both legs up to a high teaser position on a diagonal, bend your knees down, and then we go left and right and left and kick, legs down. You go right and left and right. This is your can-can and down. You go left and right and left. Use your abs to lift and lower. One more time each side. Right, left, kick. Use your belly, lift, lower down, left, right, left. When you're left, use your abs to lift, and then lower the legs down, take a rest. That is so fun. I love can-can. Good, come up to stand. We set up for straightest push-ups. Oh no, we have seal. Stay where you are, on the mat. Seal, we did seal last week, seal's fun. Heels together, toes apart, setting up like you would for rolling like a ball, except today for seal, you take your hands together in a prayer-like position, thread your hands through the middle of your legs, and wrap your hands around your ankles. You get a little stretch in the wrists. Heels stay together. You round your spine into that C shape, and you're in your rolling like a ball position. Clap your heels together twice. Clap, clap. Roll back to your tips of your shoulder blades. Clap, clap the heels. Roll up at the top. Clap, clap. Roll back at the top. Here, clap, clap. And up, clap, clap, and back, clap, clap. Let's add a clap. You go clap, 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 rock back, and there, clap, clap, clap. Roll up and clap, 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 rock back and clap, clap, clap. Try 4 on this last rep. 4, down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, up, and hold, and breathe. Hollow out, go into your round spine. Lower your feet down, carefully come up to stand. And then stand at a back edge of your mat for serratus push-ups. I don't care which side. Heels together, toes apart, arms straight up to the ceiling, shoulders down your back. Tuck your chin towards your chest and roll down off the imaginary wall. Find your hands on the mat and walk your hands out to a high plank position. Shoulders come right over your wrists, one long straight line with your back. And then lower yourself down onto your forearms. Beautiful. Heels together, toes apart still. Hips in line with your spine. You're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades together so that your chest lowers to the ground, and then you're gonna press your shoulder blades apart so that your chest lifts up and away. Lower the chest by squeezing the shoulder blades, lift by pressing away. 3 more, squeeze to lower, press to lift. You got it, girl. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Use those abs. They are on fire, I know. Lift, and then carefully come back up to your hands and knees. Come into any stretch you want. Get into a downward dog or a cat-cow, and breathe. If you're in your downward dog, go ahead and separate your feet a little bit and just give your heels a little pedal. Good. Good. And then bring the heels to still. Walk your hands back to your feet. Beautiful. Hang here. And then let's roll up bone by bone. Beautiful breath. Good. And then come to kneel on your mat. We'll set up for our mermaid. So kneel in the middle of your mat. And then bring your hands out to your T position. And then you're going to sit your butt to the right or left side of your feet. We're going to the right side of our feet here. Good. So that means I want you to have a little bit of space on your mat to the right of you. And then you're going to reach out to the right as far as you can go. When you can't go anymore, find your hand on the floor. Then find your elbow on the floor, and then press into the hand and elbow to reach the top arm up and over by your ear. Take your head with you. Bianca, can you bring your gaze straight ahead instead of at your arm? There you go. So your neck stays nice and aligned with your spine. I know that's like a dancer habit that a lot of us have, but here I just want your neck to be right in line with your spine. Good. And then when you're ready, you're going to exhale and use a little bit of pressure to lift up and off. Bring your left hand onto your shin, lift your right arm up, and take a counter stretch here. Good. And then come back to center. We're gonna do the same thing. Reach, find your hand, find your elbow. Think about a rainbow underneath the low side of the body to lift the low rib into the upper rib, and reach and breathe. Now bring attention to your sits bones. I want your left sits bone to be anchored down into the mat just as much as your right, so your hip is reaching away from your fingertips, which are going away in the other direction. On an exhale, press your hand up to lift up and over, come into your counter stretch. Grab onto that opposite shin and reach up and over. Good, both sits bones are even here too, so that outside right hip is reaching down. Good, and then exhale, come back up to center, and carefully come up to kneel in the middle, and we'll go to the other side. So hips come to the left side, and you'll make sure you have space on that mat to your left. Arms come up into a T position. Find your sit bones in that mat first. Reach to the left, find your left palm on the mat, find your left forearm on the mat, and reach up and over. You're gonna feel this nice rainbow shape underneath you by this idea of lifting that low rib up. Bianca, close your ribs in the front just a little bit. There you go. That's it. So if you're feeling like you're nice and proud and tall in the rib cage, just bring it back together. Good. And then press the left arm to come up. Take your counter stretch. Right hand on the shin, reach up and over. Make sure both sits bones are down. Hip and hand are in opposition. Good. And then exhale, come back to center. And then reach to the side, find your hand, find your elbow, and lift up and over for your stretch. And breathe. Make sure that right hip is anchoring down. Good. And then on an exhale, press your palm down, spring up and over, take your counter stretch. Right hand to shin, left arm up and over. And breathe into the rib cage on the left side. On an exhale, come back up to center. Good. Carefully come up to stand. And we end with one final plank front support position. So starting at the back edge of the mat, heels together, toes apart, arms straight up to the ceiling, shoulders down your back, tuck your chin, peel off the imaginary wall, find your hands on the mat, and then walk your hands out to your high plank position. Heels are together, toes are apart. We have a 15-second hold here. Breathing, tucking your pelvis. Lengthening your heels behind you, reaching the top of your head, energy out the top of your head forward. Actively pressing the palms into the mat. We have 8, 7, nice big long breaths, 4, 3, beautiful, 2, and 1. Pike your hips up to the ceiling and then downward dog. Bring your legs to parallel, and you can pedal out those feet. Good, get a nice stretch here. And then walk your hands back to your feet. And hang forward over the front of your body like a rag doll. Get a little bend in your knees just so we're not locking them out, and just take this hang. Really let your neck go. Your neck can and should be able to relax. Good, now take 2 more breaths here, just the same way we started class, filling up the belly with air. Exhaling all the air out. Filling up the belly with air. And on your exhale, roll up, bone by bone, pulling the belly in. Arms come straight up to the ceiling. We get a shoulder check, shoulders come up. They draw down the sides of the spine, and then you press the air down by your sides as you grow your spine half an inch taller. And we're all done for tonight. That was great! You looked great. High five, girls. All right, thank you guys. We will be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah!
Yay!